Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. Got the guys from Space Casino here. Welcome, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Very well, very well. So looking forward to talking with you, getting to know you guys, but we're going to play a track first, and this is the first single from the album, Be So Cold. This is the first one, first single.
Yep.
And the album is, what's the title again?
Elephants in the Room.
Elephants in the Room. I look forward to asking you more about that too. I love the cover. I love the cover, by the way. The cover is really cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. But we're going to give this a spin, and then we'll come back and talk with these guys. And this is Be So Cold. This is the band Space Casino.
And I don't care, you
That is catchy as hell. That is so good.
Thank you.
You got it. Absolutely. That is called Be So Cold. That is the band Space Casino. And we've got, we've got Jared, Seamus, and Nick with us today on the program. And who are we? You guys are a 4-piece, right? We're missing one guy?
Yeah, we're missing one. He was still on the couch when we left the B&B.
Well, at least you know where he is, though. So
Yeah,
as long as he's
exactly.
not missing or abducted by aliens or something, because
Yeah.
you just never know. You just never know. So, guys, let's So, Jared, let's start with you. What do you do in the band?
I play guitar. I play guitar and I sing, and occasionally I do bad stand-up on stage.
You okay? Very good, very good. And you, Seamus,
I play the drums.
you play the drums. Excellent. And Nick,
A little bit of bass, a little bit of vocals,
yeah,
a little bit of this and that.
sure, very good. And what is the guy on the couch? What does he do?
He plays guitar and sings too.
Okay.
All three of them, like they kind of switch off
Oh, that's cool.
on like lead vocals. Like the
Yeah.
one who writes the song is kind of the one that sings it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
And,
three songwriters, and we split it up pretty evenly.
I always think that's kind of a cool dynamic to have. You know, and now that I think about it, I played in a bunch of bands, but I never played in something where more than one person would take a turn at lead vocals. And I think it probably gives you an opportunity to kind of add some texture to your overall sound, right? You know, different voices, naturally bring in
Yeah.
different personalities, and then the songs are each their own, kind of become their own character that way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of gives each of them has kind of their own vibe. Like, so on the album, there's 9 songs.
Yeah.
And there's 3 each from, like 3 from Nick,
Oh.
3 from Jared, 3 from Chris.
Oh, very
So it
cool.
kind of, they each have their own vibe, and we kind of split them up,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it adds texture.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Do you deliberately split it 3 ways when you're approaching picking the songs, or does it just kind of work out that way? Or
Yeah, when we're recording an album, we're like, all right, everyone pick 3 songs
okay,
of yours that you want to present. Then we work on those for a long time.
gotcha. That's very democratic that way too, right?
I try, because
Yeah.
I've been in
Yeah.
a lot of bands
Yeah.
before as well, and like it's not always like that. And
Yep.
especially if you're a drummer or rhythm section, they don't get a lot of say naturally.
Right.
So I feel like with this project, it was really, I was determined to make it as democratic and free
Yeah.
between everyone.
That's really cool. So, obvious question too. I got to ask up front. Where does the name come from? Because Space Casino is a pretty cool name. Where does
Yeah.
that come from?
So we I really love like the aesthetic of like space, and I also love gambling.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I like the aesthetic of casinos.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like gambling as much, but I love space.
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, a culmination of our 2 favorite things: celestial objects and degenerate
Yeah.
gambling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both are a cold wasteland.
Yeah.
Fair. All right.
You can just really get away with, it's casinos are like, it's the most degenerate, like casinos are so funny because like it'll be like an old lady sitting at a slot machine, like putting her retirement into a slot machine, and then there's like a rich millionaire businessman, like all in the same spot,
Yeah.
just wasting money.
Yeah. It's funny. I've only been in a casino once in my life because I'm not a gambler. But years ago, I had gone to see a show at Mohegan Sun. And my friend Dan and I, we were just like, he wasn't a gambler either. But I was just like, I've always wanted to just like walk through a casino just to see if it really is like what you see on TV and in movies. And it kind of was.
Yeah.
We just walked
Yeah.
through it. But it was like, I didn't have any interest in gambling. But it's just interesting to walk through a casino,
Yeah, it's
Feels alive.
an experience. Like the lights, the sound. I mean, they do it all on purpose. But
Yep.
it's like just walking through a casino, it's like a vibe. It's an experience.
Yeah, totally. And what about the name of the album, Elephants in the Room? I'm curious about that too.
Oh yeah, that was that's Nick. Nick's
Yeah.
song. That's a line in a song by Nick.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Nick's song Spaces, which is also, because we're Space Casino.
Yeah.
But he says, elephants in the room at one point in the song. And then I think it was actually Jared's idea, like, what if we named the album Elephants in the Room?
Yeah.
And it's the final song on the album.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
kind of get that at the end and kind of like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I get it. 'Cause I
Yeah.
hear that. But it's not the name of the song, which is also, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah. And I like the cover art too. Who did the cover art? Did you guys do that or?
The cover art, yeah, I did that, but it's really a photograph just with the colors adjusted and played with.
Oh, okay.
So it's a photograph of the ceramic mask that we found at
Like
at a
a
Savers.
Goodwill, yeah.
Oh, no
yeah.
kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, that mask we found, and we were actually looking for stuff for like, we were like filming something, so we went to a Savers just to find like cool, fun, cheap props.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, and we were like, "Whoa, this thing is awesome!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jared took the picture and kind of,
And I put the mask on top of an old symbol, which reflected light in a cool way.
Yeah.
And then I put like a little disco ball I had on the mask, and I just took a couple pictures, and then it looks like that. Now it just looks like a weird alien head
Yeah.
coming out of a portal or something.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I dig it. Is that your first full length release as a band or?
yes. So we had one EP out with like 4 songs, but this is our first full album.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together? Has Space Casino been around for a while or?
We've been playing together for probably like 8 years. I think the Space Casino project is like
Maybe
4 or
3 and
5
a
years
half,
old.
5 years? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because we started the first like Space Casino show was like January 2020.
Okay.
And we were like, this is gonna be our year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we didn't play again until like a year and a half later. But
That
Yeah.
club closed soon
yeah,
after.
yeah. That club closed because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't practice or do anything. But then once places started opening back up, like 2021, we've been going pretty steady since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. During the pandemic, like in 2020 when you guys, wow, what a way to start, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were even jamming together before that. We all went to the same high school.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, actually
Yeah.
probably longer than 8 years then. Probably like
Well, I mean, jamming
12
together.
years.
They
We've been jamming.
they went to Amherst, and then me and my friend Scott, who was also a musician, like I would drive up and party with them in Amherst.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Jamming,
Jam.
drinking jam
Yeah.
all night.
I got the fun parts of college without having to actually learn anything or
There you
pay
go.
money.
without the enormous loan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Has it always been the same 4 guys? Is it always Space Casino?
Yeah,
or-
we had like our friend Scott was in the band. It was kind of like a rotating chairs, but
Yeah.
kind of us three kind of always remained.
Yeah, and for the last, we added Chris, the guy on the couch, like a few years ago. But like this lineup of Space Casino has probably been like the most consistent.
Okay.
Like the 4-piece
Yeah.
has been, a
because
few
we kind of
years
started
now.
the Space Casino project,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
Yeah.
Are you guys playing a lot of shows these days? Obviously, where you're from, because we should say too, you're from, I forget now, but it's Boston area.
Yeah.
South Shore, Boston,
South Shore,
Weymouth area.
But
Yeah.
we play a lot in like Cambridge, Somerville, like,
Worcester.
Yeah. We love going out to Worcester. Have you ever been to Ralph's Rock Diner?
Oh yeah, Ralph's is
Yeah.
legendary.
Yeah.
That place is so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love playing at Ralph's.
I haven't been there in a very long time, but yeah, I used to when I was still playing in bands. Yeah, we would play there. Yeah, that's a great. Well, Worcester had. I don't know if there used to be a place there called the Atrium. I don't think that's there anymore, though. Is it?
I don't know.
You heard of the Atrium?
Sounds familiar.
Never been
I've
there.
never been though.
Yeah,
No.
it's probably gone. But that was a really cool place in Worcester. There was a bunch of cool places. But yeah, so you guys are. But I can see where with your, like, do you feel with your sound that you're directly influenced by the Boston music scene? Because you sound like you're of that area. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
neat. I don't
yeah.
think so. I don't know. We have a lot of different tastes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more hardcore punk and that kind of energy in Boston.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of fusion stuff
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
We're a lot of times we're like the softest. We're not the softest. You know what I mean? Like we're usually like the lightest band on the bill. Most like there's a lot of really heavy like hardcore like pop punk like that sort of scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I would say we are still, we're still
But
slightly.
we are kind of like heavier, so I guess that makes sense coming from.
It's in the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was a big fan of Aerosmith in my younger days. Not really these days. But
Yeah. Yeah.
that is
Well, you hear the same 6 songs on the radio.
Yeah,
so much,
exactly.
It's like, oh god.
Yeah.
No, because I can imagine like the college crowd really getting into you guys, in the Boston area and college radio and all that. So, now, do any of you also play in other projects? Because it seems like everybody we have on the show lately, everybody's got a million different projects in addition to whatever they're on the show to talk about.
Actually, Couch Chris is playing in a acoustic duo with our friend Katie.
Okay.
And they're really good. They're called The Stomps. I guess we'll give them a shout out.
Cool.
Yeah.
They do covers and originals, acoustic duo. So that's nice. So he does that. I've played in other projects before. It doesn't always. Sometimes you don't have time for 2 projects.
Right.
If you really want to get into something, but
Yeah.
I know people are in like 7 projects.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's some. I don't get how people. There's so many drummers. Like that's like the joke is like, oh, like my drummer's only in 4 other bands.
That comes up a lot on this show. Yeah, every drummer is in multiple bands,
and I don't understand. I barely have time to be in this band.
Yeah.
So shout out to those drummers working hard out there. But
Oh yeah.
Space Casino
Shout out
is
to
enough.
Varun.
Is enough for me. Yeah.
We do sometimes make like short films, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a side thing we do.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, tell me more about that. I'm curious. Yeah.
Yeah. We did one.
We did 48-hour film fests.
Yeah.
So you get you get a couple of you get a line of dialogue to use, you get a character name, an occupation, and then everybody gets a different genre.
Yeah.
So literally, you get on Friday 7:00, you get all your criteria you have to use in the movie, and then you have to turn it in 2 days later at 7:00. So
Really?
you take a weekend. It's fun. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure.
cool.
And then so we made like our genre was like crime
Yeah.
genre. So we kind of did our own little like Tarantino movie where
Oh wow.
Yeah.
there's gun involved.
It's supposed to be like 2 minutes long, and we never leave enough time to actually edit and combine everything. So we come out with like a 15-minute movie.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
that doesn't count for anything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have fun making it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite one we did is called The Florist Job, because that was the occupation they gave us was florist.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a florist that gets, his wife is sick, so he gets involved in being like a getaway driver. It's really ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's fun.
So what happens to these if it's too long to enter into the festival or whatever? I can't win anything, I guess. But you then put them on YouTube? Or?
Yeah,
it's
they're
on
on
YouTube.
they're
Oh,
on
cool.
YouTube.
I
The
had it-
channel is Big
That channel
Monday?
is Big Monday Films. That's our like film
Okay.
production
Yeah.
company name.
Oh, I got to
Yeah.
check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a link on our website and our link tree
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
If anyone's interested.
Yeah.
It's us. It's all 4 band members playing different characters. It's really funny.
Yeah.
That makes you guys unique. You're definitely the first band we've ever had on the show who's like, oh, by the way, we also make short films, and
Yeah.
we're all in the film. That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
And we
lot of
put our our music into the
I did when they're driving
Yeah,
the car.
yeah.
I put us on the radio. That was
Yeah,
fun to
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Yeah. No, that's great. That's really cool.
yeah. It's fun. We have a lot of fun making them. We still have to make. It's funny. We've made like 2 short films, but we still haven't done our own music video
Yeah,
yet.
we
We got to do that next.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. If anyone wants to help with that, hit us up.
Well, we should play another track. We want to play. We had talked about Summer Breeze.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Play that one next.
This is Nick's song.
Okay, Nick on lead vocals on this one.
Yep.
The mastermind of the band.
All right, very good. If you are just joining us, we have Space Casino here with us in studio, and we're going to hear another track from Elephants in the Room, and this is called Summer Breeze. Oh, I love it. That is so good. That is called Summer Breeze. The band is Space Casino, and we've got 3/4 of Space Casino here with us in studio. And I love that. Nick, I love your voice on that too.
Oh, thank you so much.
And that's actually you're playing the guitar solo on that?
Yeah, so I wrote the bass track at first, and we kind of layered up everything. I love how the harmonies come together on that chorus.
Yeah.
It's just like very, very vast, like dense sound, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then on top, I just laid a quick, beautiful guitar solo.
Yeah.
as
yeah.
well.
No, everything about that is really good. I bet is that a crowd favorite when you play that one live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Where did you record? The album sounds incredible. Where?
So actually, huge shout out, Ugly Robot Studios, which is in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Kevin Grady.
Yeah. We
really,
recorded,
really nice job. He did a great job, honestly.
Yeah, we recorded the whole thing there. It's also right down the street from my house, so that's nice.
Nice.
But we recorded the whole thing there. We met him through he's in a couple of bands. We met him through like, doing shows.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned that like we met him at he was doing a house show in his studio.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
he
studio's
mentioned
a basement in a house.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
okay.
it's a nice.
but
very nice.
but he's done it up. It's well done.
yeah, and they have like shows. A
And
lot
they
of
do
hardcore shows.
Yeah, they
Oh,
do a lot
cool.
of shows there.
Oh wow.
And so we met him through like playing music, and he mentioned that he records bands. So then we decided to give it a try, and then
Yeah.
we were like, oh, definitely, because at first we were like, well, let's go in and see how it is. But then after a couple sessions, we were like, oh yeah, we're definitely doing the whole album.
Just easy
Yeah.
to work with. Like, just like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
gets it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Good sound engineer, and also, gives good pointers, but isn't like, he's not trying to tell you, he's not trying to produce it, but he'll throw out a suggestion, and usually it's a good one. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's so many options as far as, especially in your area where you guys are from. There's it's funny too, because there was a time when people kind of predicted that recording studios would be a thing of the past at some point, because you have so many options now. Like you can record at home and come
Yeah.
up with something that sounds like it was done in $1 million studio, you know?
Yeah.
But in reality, I mean, recording studios are still thriving, even though a lot of musicians are finding other ways to record too. So
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, and we self-recorded things in the past, and like, I mean,
If you don't know what you're doing, you're not gonna get a good.
I mean,
decent product.
I've heard, some people are really good at it, but I think for us, we just wanted to focus. The thing about when you're doing it yourself, you're also like, you're not just focusing on the music. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
nice to when you just have somebody else doing it for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about your DAW crashing or
Yeah.
your lexicon.
yeah.
So I think for us, we were like, well, no, let's go to a studio, have them do it. That way we can just focus on, giving it the best takes we can,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like nowadays you just have so many jobs as an artist, so you have to like be your marketer,
That's true.
your producer, everything.
Yeah.
So if you can afford it to take away one of those jobs, I feel like it's worth it. Helps you focus on the other ones.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. You plan to record with him again in the future?
Yeah. We're working on like a new LP.
Oh,
right
you
now.
are? Okay.
Yeah.
If you already started.
We start
Yeah.
recording, like nothing to advertise yet, but
Okay.
on the horizon it will be coming out probably
ver-
next year.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Few
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full album?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might. I mean, we
Some
might even
singles.
just release a song. The first song we might just release it, see what happens.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Elephants in the Room we released in January, so it's still kind of pretty fresh. But
Yeah.
there's no sense in
Yeah, you can only play the same songs for so long. before
Right.
you get
Yeah.
sick of 'em, so we got to come up with new stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that makes sense. Do you guys do you play anything? Is there anything that you play live that hasn't been released yet that you kind of sometimes bands will kind of workshop material, in front of an audience in a sense.
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah. This new
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, we try and cycle in like a couple different tunes every show just to kind of keep it, lively, keep it mixed up.
Yeah.
So we have a couple, in the works.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll bring back like really old stuff. Like one of the songs one of Jared's songs that he just went back to start recording is a song from like before even our first like LP
Really.
that he
Yeah.
but then he was
We'll also play old songs like from the first EP, and like we'll change a part or modify it in a way, or add add something new to it just to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. You guys want to play? We should play another one from the album, of course. Elephants in the Room. What do you guys want to play next? Totally up to you.
I guess we give Chris a song.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
Rain On, I guess.
Pashmina. I think maybe Pashmina.
Yeah.
Or we can do Rain On too.
Oh, it's the other like single, maybe.
Oh yeah, right. It's a single.
Which one?
Let's try Rain On.
Rain On because it's raining outside.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, very apropos. I guess it's supposed to rain all day, from what I understand. If you're just joining us on Saturday, we do have a Space Casino here with us, live in studio, and we're going to play another track from this incredible album. Well, I'm waiting for that. Anything we? Here it comes. Well, anything? I'll ask you anyway. Anything we should know about this track before we play it?
It's written by Chris from the Couch.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not here to talk about it. So.
That's true. Yeah, he's not here. All right.
We love you.
It features some nice cowbell work from me.
Yeah, almost more of like an acoustic. It was based around acoustic guitar at first.
Okay.
So it's maybe like a lighter sense of the album. So.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
So we'll give this a spin. This is called Rain On, and the band is Space Casino. Another great track. That is called Rain On. That is from the album Elephants in the Room. And the band is Space Casino. We have three of the guys from Space Casino here. And the gentleman who sings on that song and wrote it is, so that's Chris from the couch, right?
Yes, yes.
But no, great song though.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And we were kind of talking off air while I was playing. I said his vocal delivery, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Bono. And it's really good.
Yeah, we heard a little bit of Irish brogue in his singing in the studio once, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. I like his guitar parts. He wrote most of them there. They're really nice.
Are any of those songs on the album? Is there anything that is difficult or was difficult to play live? Because it's the material's pretty sophisticated in terms of the different parts and.
Actually, that song, more than anything, I feel like Chris throws on like a capo. He switches from acoustic one show, then he'll do electric at the other show.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, it's always been one where maybe we don't want to play it. I don't want to put my capo on my guitar or whatever.
Certain songs are definitely like trickier than others, but we play them all live.
Yeah.
That one particular is that's probably one of the trickiest, but it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, there's definitely for me on the drums. There were definitely a few songs. There's another one of Chris's songs is called Pashmina Blues, where I'm doing a pretty fast like hi-hat part.
Yeah,
and in the studio you get multiple takes, so you can just do it. But by the end, when we play that song live, by the end of that song, my right arm is like burning. And then I'm like, why? What was I doing in the studio? What was I on that day?
Yeah.
But it sounds great.
It keeps us awake, all the changes and little syncrasies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it important to you guys to be able to replicate that live exactly how you recorded it? Or?
Yeah, we try to our utmost ability to. Sometimes it doesn't come to fruition, but it's a challenge. It's nice to be challenged by our songs still.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes live we do that, but sometimes we'll even try it. Well, like I said before, we change a little bit of the song to do live. So sometimes we'll mess with the song.
Yeah, we'll
just
change
to keep it fresh for us.
We'll change things up, but we do try to not. We try not to let it be. We try not to rely on the studio magic. You know what I mean? Like if we'll change it up, but not changing it in a way of like, oh, let's skip that part because it's too hard to replicate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it would be easy to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we try to challenge ourselves to do it. There were definitely, for me, there were a lot of like fills and weird little things I did in I would practice for the first few months after we released the album. I was listening to the album, practicing drums to my drums, listening to my drums, trying to replicate what I did. Cause I was like, what did I do in the studio that day? Like,
Right.
What is this fill?
Right.
But I eventually got most of it down. Sometimes I still struggle.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like I don't even want it. If I go to a band's show, a concert, I don't even always want to hear a record perfect version of the song. I want to hear like a new take, like a live, fresh, on the spot take of it.
That's how I tend to feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's upset. It's kind of a letdown when it sounds exactly like the album.
Yeah.
Especially if it sounds exactly like the album, but your stage presence is like stunning, then that's one thing. But there have been times I've gone to shows where it's like it's just the band standing there and it sounds exactly like the album, and then they get off stage and it's like I spent $50 to listen to the album in a room. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I did see, I had an experience. I went to see, in New Jersey, the Strokes opening for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And the Strokes are like my all-time favorite bands.
Yeah.
Chili Peppers are in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
But my favorite bands, they sounded I was also very, very far away with the stadium, but they sounded very album perfect.
Really?
And it was great. I loved them. But then when the Chili Peppers came on, the Chili Peppers are jamming. They're throwing in little jams in between songs, and the songs they're playing have a life of their own.
Yeah.
And so that's what
I don't think, I feel like they don't play anything the same way, at least not exactly. They're always
shout out to Flea.
Flea's always
he's a monster.
I don't think he needs us to shout him out.
yeah.
I wanted to toss it out there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Flea.
No, but he is an incredible bass player.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wish my fingers could move that fast. There's a guy who's been on the show. I don't know if you know Aaron Bilodeau. He's from up here, but he's been on the show, and he's played in a bunch of bands, but he does a lot of solo work too, and he comes in and he sets up this whole. He's got this whole thing that he plays along too. That he'll come in here and he'll play, and I just spend the entire time just watching his fingers because he can play like Flea, just these incredible bass lines, and I'm just like, and I'm a bass player, so I'm just sitting there, just watching his fingers the entire time. But Flea is definitely one of the greats. We should. I want to make sure we have time to fit in one more. Well, technically two more, because we'll play one more now, and then we'll play one more at the very end of the segment. But the album is so good. I do want to make sure we have time to. What should we go to next?
Spaces.
Spaces. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good one to play because we talked about that one earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get that. Let me load that one up.
This is where the album name comes from, a lyric in this song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the titular song.
Okay. Oh, very cool. Okay. So we'll give this a spin. And for those of you just joining us, we do have a Space Casino, 3/4 of the band Space Casino, here with us in studio. This track, this is, of course, from the album Elephants in the Room. And this is on all the streaming platforms, right?
Yep. Everything, yeah.
Oh, what about the original EP that you guys did? Is that available everywhere too?
That's on everything too. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Almost classy.
And you can follow us. We always post everything on like our Instagram is our main where we give updates on shows and stuff.
Okay. Very cool. All right, let's give this a spin. This is called Spaces, and the band is Space Casino. That is called Spaces. The band is Space Casino. It's another great track. I love that. I love the whole vibe of that. That is so cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Great job, guys.
That's another Nick song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of demons are running around in my head, but it seems like a couple of my songs are all about anxiety, bad habits, elephants in the room, whatnot.
Yeah. Well, but that's relatable. Things we all deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. What should we know about where people should go online to keep up with everything you guys are doing?
Yeah, I mean, just follow us on Instagram and Facebook and
Check out
Twitter
the
and TikTok,
website.
all that jazz.
Yeah.
At Space Casino Band, right?
Yes, at Space Casino Band. And from there, there's in the bio, there's links to our website and our link tree, and we're on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube.
You can sign up for our email list.
We actually do have we did just make we have an email list, yes.
Yeah.
But we did just we made a promo video. You ever see Hot Ones? The internet show.
Oh yeah, where they eat the I have seen that.
Wings.
Yeah.
So on our YouTube page, if you go to Space Casino Band on YouTube, we have this 15-minute Hot Ones challenge where we actually ate increasingly spicier wings.
Really?
Just like the show, and we used even hotter sauce than the show.
Really?
Yes.
We used Da Bomb, which is featured on the show. That was one of the 5 flavors we used.
Okay.
But it was very, very hot.
We also tossed the wings. We used the same container to toss all the wings.
It was accumulating.
So basically, they were all the hot sauces were on every wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
then the hook at the end of the video, the last spiciest wing we ate, we immediately jumped on instruments and tried to play a song.
Yeah.
And it was painful.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Singing
So
with
we played
stinging
We
throat.
played "Be So Cold"
Oh.
while dying of hot wings.
Heat stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's called Hot Boys.
Hot Boys. is the
Okay.
name.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Riley for being the host and holding it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Absolutely hilarious work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cracking us up the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to check that. So that's on YouTube?
That's YouTube. Yeah.
I gotta check that out. That's very cool. Very cool. Guys, this has been wonderful. I really appreciate the three of you coming in, and we'll definitely do this again in the future as you're releasing new music and whatnot. I love your sound.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We'd love to come back.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Absolutely. And what should we close out with?
Maybe gallons of ink, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or pashmina.
Maybe gallons.
Gallons. I'd say gallons of ink.
We'll close out.
It's a closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics to the song came to me in a dream.
Oh, okay. Gallons of ink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like it's about getting a lot of tattoos or something.
No,
It's just about killer whales, I guess. I don't even know.
All right.
it's about a lot of
Yeah.
It's self-interpretive.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Gallons of Ink by Space Casino. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Gallons